Good evening, ladies and gents. It is Monday night's late night agenda. I'm your host, Craig. As always, you motherfuckers are very welcome along. I like straight into the language, straight into the bad language, Craig. Don't even mess about tonight. Just get straight to it. Might as well start as we mean to go on, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you're all keeping well. I would say I hope the sun is shining, the birds are singing, yada yada yada, but it ain't fucking shining where I'm living, ladies and gents. I can tell you that one. Autumn's definitely arriving in Ireland very, very quickly. How are we, ladies and gents? I love seeing people in the chat when I come in. I know I say this every time, but I'm always worried none of you fuckers are going to show up. But you always look after me, and I'm grateful for it. How are we, ladies and gents? Right, let's get loads of comments. Loads of people want to chat about Bobby Duncan, Ryan Kent. We'll get to all that. Dejan, Lovren, we'll get to that as well. How am I in the family? We're all very good, thank you, Bassett, mate. Really, really good. Farrell's in the house. How are you? We were speaking on WhatsApp actually before the stream, and I know he's on. I think you're on your way home from work, mate. Are you? Maybe you are at home because of the weather. Yeah, I look very white, don't I, today? I think I need to fuck about with that a little bit, actually. I think I need to mess about with the filters a little bit because I'm feeling like I'm looking a bit too, I don't know, beige? Is that the word I'm looking for? Right, let me fuck around with this a little bit. Gamma. Let's see. Can we do anything with that? That make me look a little bit more human? Yeah, a little bit more human, I think. We'll go with that one. Nice shirt. Yes, it arrived. It arrived. Yes, this is the blackout shirt. A lot of people keep asking me all day on Twitter, has it got a blue badge? What colour is the badge? It's all black. It's just really shiny material. I have to say, for £75, I'm a little bit disappointed that it's not embroidered, that the crest and the badge isn't embroidered. But maybe that's because of the look of the overall look of the shirt, and because they want that shiny black effect from it. But yes, it did arrive today. This is the blackout shirt. I am very happy with it. Being a fat fucker like me, black is slimming, so the more black, the better in my life. That's the way I look at it with regards to clothing. Anyway. Hate the international breaks at Angus Court 123. I'm with you, buddy. I absolutely despise them. I've made no secret of that. It's it's 2 weeks we've got to get through, but you know what, we'll do it together. The blackout shirt is gorgeous, said Nay. Thank you, buddy. I'm delighted with it, I have to say. I really am. As I said, the only downside is the crest and the badge not being, or the crest and the New Balance logo not being embroidered, but you know, I think it's probably for the overall look of the shirt. Craig, you're not human, you're just a big, I think you meant to say bald machine. I'll take it, Jack. We're top and we shall not be moved. We shall not be moved. Look, I love it. Loads of happy people in the chat tonight. Ladies and gents, great to see. Oh, my friend Ella's in as well. How are you, buddy? Said, didn't watch the All-Ireland, watched the last 10 minutes, was sick watching it. Yeah, the replay ticket has begun. Yeah, it's, for those that don't know what we're talking about, as I said yesterday, the All-Ireland football final was on. It was a draw between Dublin and Kerry, which is a money-spinning replay for the GAA. Right, loads to get through. What do you want to start off with tonight, ladies and gents? I mean, there's non-Liverpool related transfers. Actually, do you know what? There's one thing we've got to start off tonight's stream with, and that is to wish what would have been Bill Shankly 106th birthday, or happy birthday to Bill Shankly. He would have been 106 years of age today, so congratulations. A man that is so important to the history of this football club. So yeah, Bill Shankly would have been celebrating his 106th birthday today. So a happy birthday, Mr. Shankly. And look, I'm fortunate enough to interact a little bit with his granddaughter and stuff on Twitter, and to keep the Shankly name going like they have is an amazing achievement. And of course, it's going to be remembered around the club. But what they're doing with the likes of the Shankly Hotel, the Shankly Shop, and all that kind of stuff, check it out if you haven't done so already. Some wonderful stuff. Some wonderful memorabilia and stuff being sold around Bill Shankly, and look, nothing but love. It is it's a big day. 106 years of age you would have been today, and look, not many of us are fortunate enough to live that long, but it's always important that we mark this day. So happy birthday, Mr. Shankly. Right, Craig, what have we got? Per Kerry, they had one chance and they'll never do it now. Do you know, I'm with you, Jaden. I don't think they will. Right, let's have a chat around Dejan Lovren, will we? As it stands, and I think there is still time left in a few windows around Europe, but as things stand, Dejan Lovren is staying at Liverpool and he won't be going anywhere during this window, which is good news. So, or good news? Good news? Is it good news? I don't know. It's definitely good news. So yeah, that's good news for the club. I didn't want him to go anywhere, particularly when we couldn't bring in a backup, and I know people may say, well, we have Sepp van den Berg there, you have Kiana Hoover there. There are options, but he's experienced, and experience could well be what we need throughout this season. I mean, look at Laporte as an example. I'm sure a lot of you guys know Laporte went off with a knee injury at the weekend. It's looking like that could be 4 to 6 months out. Thank you for Doug for passing me on that information, by the way. Yeah, 4 to 6 months out. And I've said this before, I never, ever, ever wish an injury on any footballer. So I genuinely hope Laporte gets back playing really soon. But it just goes to show you that anything can happen. And when you have a deep squad like we have, you may need every single person in that squad. So for Degsy to be staying till at least January anyway, it's yeah, I mean, I'm happy about it. I don't know how you guys feel. Maybe he wanted to move on. I don't know, but it's no harm having somebody like Dejan Lovren around. Craig, should I get an Anfield agenda tattoo? Absolutely not, mate. Particularly when you've misspelled tattoo. No, don't get an Anfield agenda tattoo, buddy. God Almighty, no. I don't want that. I have to be responsible for that one. I mean, by all means, go get yourself a nice tattoo, but don't get an Anfield agenda one. Even I wouldn't do that. Virgil van Dijk said, imagine this blasting about Anfield. Let's talk about Six, baby. Let's talk about Rafa, Shankly, KLOPP and Bob Paisley. Let's talk about... I mean, I can already see Dave's LFC chats at home singing that song right now. Love the videos. Keep on doing all the hard works at different Davies, mate. Thank you. Thank you so much. But the videos are only good, buddy, because people like yourself come in and interact. If you guys didn't show up, I'd have nobody to talk to. Peter van der Shans, how are you, sir? Welcome. Liam Granby, alright, how are you, buddy? I'm all good. LFC Reckland Dodgers. You always confuse me with that, Declan, because I know your fucking name is Declan. So when I see Reckland Dodgers, it's a good name, though. But welcome in, buddy. Great to have you with us as well. Never thought of letting you, but I got into college and I'm starting sports business management. I like it. What I'm hearing here, Declan, is Craig, possible future agent. Do you know what I mean? And I trust you, Declan, because you seem like a nice lad. That is class, mate. Congratulations to you. I'm absolutely delighted that you've got into that course, mate. And I'm sure you'll knock it out of the park. And I'm sure your parents are very proud of you as well. As well they should be. Dave Sweeney, how are you, buddy? Loads of hellos. I feel like we spend 10-15 minutes saying hello, and I love that. I love that we're at this point. Doug said, let's get AA to 22,500 subs. Yeah, we're a long way from that, mate. Do you know what I mean? We're 200 and something away. I don't think we'll get there over the international break either, but yeah. Anyway, Degsy Lovren, what do we think? Are we happy that he's staying? I am, as I said, very happy about it. What brand is my top? It's Liverpool, mate. It's New Balance. Every year they release it. Well, under New Balance we release a blackout kit, a limited edition kit. I haven't been able to get it any other year, but this year I managed to get on in time and order it, and very happy with it. It arrived today. News on Kent and Duncan. Yep, Bassett, I'll get to that in a minute, mate. Don't you worry about it. We're all very well, thank you for those asking. Boy is in the house. Anthony, anything Leicester City wise transfer related? 50k before the end of the season, easy, says Jaden. Do you know what? That is my target. I'm not going to lie. I haven't really mentioned targets before, but Connor doesn't do targets. He absolutely, and I genuinely mean that, he doesn't do targets like that because he thinks you take care of what you need to take care of and the rest will be what it is. But I like targets because I'm competitive. So yes, 50k before the end of the season, it would be amazing, yeah. Doug said, delighted that Lovren's staying. Matip Gomez got injured, he comes straight back in. Exactly, that's what I'm worried about. If we did pick up an injury, let's say even one of our centre backs got injured, with rotation and stuff, the fourth one would be needed. So I'm happy he's staying, I really am. Good evening, Tristan, how are you as well? We need Degsy to ensure cover and rotation if and when needed. We can upgrade, of course, but not for now. So glad he's staying, said Far Isle. Josh Kelly said, it's hit and miss, to be honest, with Lovren. If he stays, I don't mind. If he goes, we'll get somebody else in. If it had been during the summer, Josh, mate, I'm with you. I wouldn't have minded Degsy moving on if we had had time to bring in the replacement. I'm a fan of Dejan Lovren. I like him as a human being. I like him at the football club, but I've always said if a footballer wants to move on, especially, when you get to the latter part of your career like he's in now, you just want to play. And if he wants to go and play, I wouldn't begrudge him that. Boya said, is it Gazelle? I don't know how you pronounce it. Fiorentina is done. Fiorentina taking all the players today, Boya. Do you know what I mean? I think you guys know where I'm going with this one. Let's lead into it. Josh said, one day this is going to be the biggest Liverpool fan channel. Fingers crossed, mate. But we'll do it together. If we do it, we'll do it together and we'll do it as a group. Curtis Dalton, I'm very well, mate. And you're always so kind and so nice and so pleasant when you come in, mate. And I really appreciate that. Timo Werner is rocking the Bundesliga right now, said Sino. I seen his goal at the weekend, mate. It was tasty, and I wonder if we will revisit that. I was absolutely baffled that nobody went in for Timo Werner. I know we signed a new deal with RB Leipzig, but as has been reported, it seems there's a €30 million release clause in that deal. So it could be done. It could be done at some point. The stories coming out, the reason we didn't go for him was around Ryan Brewster, because the club believed so much in young Ryan Brewster that they didn't want to block his pathway through. And I get that, and I understand that, and I respect that. But when you've got someone like Timo Werner available for 30 million, I don't know. For me, I would have went for him. Jack said, who would you say has been our best player in the 15-16, 16-17, 17-18, 18-19 season? God almighty, mate, that's a loaded question, isn't it? 18-19 season, who was our best player last year? Van Dijk, it's got to be Van Dijk. 17-18 season, Mo Salah. 16-17, my memory doesn't go back that far, mate. You know me at this point, my memory's fucking shocking. So I'll let you guys do 15-16, 16-17, because I'm probably named somebody that isn't even at the club because my memory's so bad. Has Mkhitaryan gone to Roma from Arsenal? Yes, Jaden, he has gone there on loan, I believe. Look, let's get straight into what you guys want to have a chat about. Well, what I think you want to have a chat about. You maybe want to talk about Bobby Duncan and Ryan Kent, but what I want to do is start off with some good news and congratulate Virgil van Dijk on being named in the final three for the Best FIFA Men's Player of the Year award, and obviously Jurgen Klopp as well. Congratulations to him, because he's been nominated for the FIFA Coach of the Year award. So once again, in a week where we've already seen Virgil van Dijk pick up the UEFA Player of the Season award, he's now been nominated for the FIFA Best Men's Player of the Year award, which is basically the entire world instead of just Europe. So look, fingers crossed. I can't see how he doesn't win it, to be honest with you, especially when he's up against the same people that he was up against before. And Jurgen Klopp is up against Pep Guardiola and Mauricio Pochettino for that award, the FIFA Coach of the Year award. So fingers crossed for Kloppo, fingers crossed for Virgil van Dijk. It just goes to show what a level we're at now, where our players are constantly being nominated for these top international awards, and it's great to see, and long may that continue. What do you think about Dudek saying Gerrard's future Reds gaffer? He could be, mate. It just depends on his experience. That's the only thing that will. I don't want, like, if Gerrard was to come in now, I've said this before, it wouldn't be right for me. As much as I love the man, it just wouldn't be right. Boba Fett, how are you, buddy? Welcome back in. It has been a while. Fell asleep last night listening to you, and you sound how chilled you sound right now. I am quite chilled, I have to say, Domestic Butler. I am quite chilled as things stand. I'm looking forward to the trip over to Florida as well, as you guys know, in a few weeks. So yeah, that's got me in holiday mode, I think. What's your thoughts on the Spurs penalty in the Arsenal game? I'm trying to think of the penalty itself was very well taken by Harry Kane and gave the keeper no chance. I'm trying to think of what caused the penalty again, because I was watching 2 or 3 games of football at the same time yesterday. I can't. What was the incident for the penalty? I don't remember. See, I don't remember feeling that it wasn't a penalty. So, yeah. You know, my memory's shocking. I mean, I can talk to you about fucking Harry Kane diving at the end of the game there when there was very little, if any, contact on him, and how unnatural his dives are. 2 feet planted together and he kind of falls forward. Like, when he dives, it is so bleeding obvious because it's not natural. But yeah, I don't have any recollection of feeling like that shouldn't have been a penalty, Josh. Yeah. De Gea now wants to abandon ship, said James Hardy. Yes, I think he's... can you blame the man? Can you blame him? Have fun in Florida, said Fran. Thank you, buddy. We will. Connor's on his way back, I think, as we speak, from Amsterdam. He was at did the Ajax Stadium tour today. He sent me some images, and it looks really good. We're a really nice bunch in here. The channel will help you grow to be the biggest Liverpool fan channel. Thank you, mate. I wouldn't have thought we'd have been here at this point. I've said this before. I mean, 20 months in, I'd have been happy with 7,000 or 8,000, so to be past 22k is amazing. Kane's dive. If we're talking about the dive, it was a blatant dive, yes. An absolute blatant dive. Shaka being a claim. Oh, yeah. I get you now. Yeah, Shaka's shocking. I don't know what he brings to that Arsenal team. He scores a worldie once in a blue moon, but other than that, he's just picking up yellow cards and kicking people over. Imagine playing a 4-2-3-1 with Fabinho and Kante in defensive midfield, the front three and Mbappe just in front of them, said Jack. Don't, mate. Don't tease me like that. You know how much I'm on board this hashtag Mbappe 2020 campaign that's probably just in my head. Boba Fett said VVD is an absolute machine. What a time to be a Liverpool fan. It is a great time to be a Liverpool fan, Boba Fett, and sometimes I think we take this for granted, and I include myself in that. I was only saying yesterday about the fact that, like, somebody asked me about the Champions League group stage draw and what I thought of it, and my initial instinct was to just think past the group stage and go to the knockout stages because I'm that confident of where we are, and I shouldn't be taking that for granted. We are in a pretty good place as a football club. When you hear Gary Neville, or see Gary Neville on Sky saying that he believes Liverpool are title winners in the making, or title winners this season, he believes with the injury to Laporte that could impact Liverpool positively, and I think he's almost going as far as to say he's backing us, if that's right, to go and win the league this season. Farrell said amazing. United, City, BT, Sky all have very little to say about Kane diving. And the two clowns over in beIN Sport, Mr. Hairy Hands and Mr. Andy Gray, decided that, well, more Andy Gray to be fair, decided that they needed to somehow twist Harry Kane diving into Mohamed Salah because they just like to have a sly little dig at Mohamed Salah because they're absolute assholes. Miro said, do you in any way miss the time when Liverpool was more of an average club, not a top class club? No, not at all. Funny thing is, mate, and this is hand on heart, gospel, if Liverpool were crap, we probably, as a channel, grow much, much quicker because fume drives conversation, anger drives conversation, and then opposition fans come in and laugh at you. And the fact that we're being successful is so fulfilling, and I'm over the moon about it. So no, in no way do I ever. I would rather this channel had 1,000 subscribers and Liverpool were winning everything in sight, mate, because we've been through a lot of dark times and we've earned where we are right now. Well, I said we've no right to be where we are now, but the club made the right decision to appointing Jurgen Klopp and bringing in the right recruits, employing the right people in the right positions, and by that I mean not in the playing staff. That's a given. Outside of that, from a commercial aspect, from player recruitment, from scouting, from everything, from every single point of view, FSG have come in and strengthened this football club. There was a bit of a rocky path on the way, but no, I never want to think back to the days, mate, of Roy Hodgson or Paul Konchesky or Christian Poulsen or Milan Jovanovic. I mean, no, mate, never. For some reason, I can imagine you doing an ASMR video. I don't think I would, mate. I'd feel like a fucking pervert if I did an ASMR video, to be fair. I can understand why people find them relaxing. I can, but I can also understand why people think there's a bit of a fetish thing to it, because let's be frank, a lot of those videos do have a bit of a sexual connotation to them. Connor is on his way back if he didn't get stopped by customs, said John Hamilton. Well, there is always that, John. Do you know what I mean? I got stopped by customs coming home from Turkey from our family holiday, and they're like, do you have any cigarettes on you? I was like, I think my wife might have 60 in her bag. And your man just looks at me and goes, no, dickhead, I meant like, have you got a suitcase full of cigarettes? And let me go. But yeah, always nervous when you're in those positions. Craig, deep question. What do you want to be remembered by? It is a deep question, Josh. What do I want to be remembered for? I don't know. I've never been egotistical enough, mate, to think about that. Look, I could give you the boring ass answer. Like, I want to be remembered as a good husband. I want to be remembered as a good father. And that is true. Everybody wants those wishes. But like everybody, you like to look back on your life at some point and think that you've had a positive impact on people's lives in some way. So if it comes to the point where I can ever say that I've benefited other people's lives in any way, shape or form, or maybe brought a bit of positivity to people's lives, then that's good enough for me, mate, because I'm not egotistical to think I'm that important to leave a legacy or anything like that. It's I just want to be around for not being a dickhead. That would be alright. I take that. Liverpool keeps getting better and better every week, and Klopp's doing a great job by improving the players, said Tresson. Farrell says, notice how much the time media are spend running stories about teams wanting our players, but avoid stories that might be about picking apart the other top six. Yeah, look, I'm with you, Farrell, when it comes to this type of stuff. When Kane dives, why not book him? That David O'Donovan, what a good comment. A lot of people were wondering that. It was a blatant dive, and yet again he doesn't get away with it. Or he gets away with it, he doesn't get a booking, I meant to say. Yeah, it is. You say it and you sound like a bitter Liverpool fan, and people go, oh yeah, but Salah's a diving so and so. Yeah, but Kane is the worst by a long, long way. Like, he really is the worst by a long way. All players, or all clubs will have players that go down easily from time to time. It happens. It does happen. So you got to give some benefit of the doubt. But for Kane, it's always happening. It's fucking always happening. Yeah, and he needs to start getting booked. And Dele Alli was a gift for it as well. Gift's a very Irish word. I was going to say fucker, but then I said, hey, maybe I'll come back with bad language and say git. And then I decided that, people might know what the word git means, so I better just say fucker anyway. For your honesty and straightforwardness, I'd like that, yeah, but that's not always a good thing, Gregory. Some people find me very cold because of my bluntness. So sometimes in like real life, I have to taper that back a little bit, or maybe just soften up the way I say something, but I try not to change. Farrell said, benefited mine. I feel like I'm connected to the world more, made new friends, have the stream to look forward to. AA changed my life. It's changed my life as well, mate. It's given me opportunities to do things I never thought I'd get to do. Like today, as an example, actually, today was a good day. Today I got an email confirmation that myself and Connor will have media passes to the Orlando City New England Revolution game. So little things like that for me means more than any money or anything like that. Being able to go and get media access to those games, and we've had media access to Liverpool games over here in Ireland and to Irish games. That type of stuff is amazing. So just to be recognised by your peers, I suppose, or recognised in the industry in some small way is it's very, very nice. It's very satisfying that when you apply for a media pass like that they don't go, you, fuck off. They look at it, and you do have to supply them links and stuff like that, and they look at it and they deem that, hey, what you're doing is okay. And I'm glad to see that people are wakening up to the new types of media that's out there. So yeah, these little things I'm really happy about. What do I think of cocky-headed people? Some arrogance is alright, Shay, in some ways, mate. I suppose if there's nothing wrong with being confident or cocky, but if it's at the detriment of other people or belittling other people's thoughts or opinions or way of life, then I think you got to draw a line under it. But there's nothing wrong with having confidence in yourself and being arrogant in the right way, as long as it's channeled in a good way. What have we got here? Rabadam, thank you very much for the super chat, mate. You're always so kind to us. Thank you so much. Words can't really express my love for Klopp. I'm with you. I'm definitely with you on that one. I think I missed one from Doug. I did. Barcelona Madrid started poorly. We broke Barcelona, said Doug. Yeah, I was only having a chat with Doug earlier on about this. So for those of you that don't know, and I don't know if this has been confirmed yet, so maybe you guys in the chat can help me out, but Madrid look like they're about to sign Bruno Fernandes from Sporting Lisbon for a fee somewhere around 60 million, I think, like that. And myself and Doug had a little conversation on Twitter about this, and for me it just smacks of desperation. Both clubs seem to have a really hit and miss transfer policy and just seem to be rolling the dice and buying up players left, right and centre in the hope that it all works out for them. I mean, neither side have had a great start to their domestic campaigns, and I like to see it. I really do like to see it. It shows that the power and the strength and the financial muscle of the Premier League is getting to the big boys in Spain, and you love to see it. Craig, what game do you see Jurgen Klopp making some rotation in the squad? Newcastle. I definitely think there'll be some rotation after the internationals, mate. He will definitely look at the players who haven't gone on international duty, the players who haven't played a lot of minutes, or the players who haven't travelled very far. So I do think that we'll see some rotation for the Newcastle game. I've no idea what, and I'm dreading the thoughts of doing a preview for it or picking an 11. But yeah, that's a game I think we'll definitely see some. Don't VAR look at diving? No, they only look at 4 things, mate. So offside, mistaken identity, all goals, and what was the other thing? Clear and obvious error for certain things. And I think if the referee doesn't see, no, I don't think they can. No, I think I'm trying to get this correct. I know that there can be punishment if the referee misses something with regards to diving, but I don't know if that has anything to do with VAR. I'm just trying to think back real quick. Yeah, like players have been booked or have been banned for simulation before, after the fact, but it has to be, I think, blatantly obvious, like looking to completely deceive the referee. And if there's even the slightest bit of contact on a player, like there was on Harry Kane, to be fair, I'm saying it was a dive. It was not enough to go down the way he went down, but there was some very, very minimal contact there. Like, in these situations, it's usually somebody who's jumping over a player's leg looking for a penalty. That's the type of stuff that you might pick up a retrospective ban for. James Hardy said, we need to win the league 3 times to knock them off the perch. I'll take it once, James. To be honest, I'll take winning the league once right now. Just to get that monkey off our back, mate, because it is a big fucking heavy stone around our neck. Kane doesn't dive because he's English. He uses his experience. Only foreigners seem to cheat, according to the British press, said Craig Challoner. It is mad. They do it. I mean, they mightn't do it. I'm not saying that journalists do this thing consciously. Sometimes it could be subconsciously, but there is definitely, and I've seen a couple of things around Gary Lineker pulled up today on social media, people showing instances where he has pulled up a foreign player for diving, but he's made excuses when it's an English player that it's gamesmanship, or that he felt some contact and he had every right to go down. Right, let's keep going. Craig, you should have come to Florida this week. Could have experienced your first hurricane. I was there for a tropical storm, Param, a few years ago. I think it was maybe one of the year we went in June. I can't remember what year that was, but we did get a tropical storm, mate. And as much as I want to move to Florida, and I do, and it is my dream to move my family there, I've said this time and time again, the weather does scare me at times. And look, first and foremost, my thoughts at this moment in time are with all the people of the East Coast of America, and I hope to God they all stay safe and nobody gets fatally injured by this hurricane. I've been keeping track of it, not because I'm worried about when we're going over, because I'm worried about the likes of my friend Far Isle, I'm worried about Liz, I'm worried about all you other guys over there in America, and myself and my wife have been keeping track of the hurricane just to make sure, you know, we want to know people are safe and we want to know people are okay. Hi United fan, you're building something good here. Of mutual respect, keep up the good work, said Jacob W. Thank you so much, Jacob. It's weird because I'm always somebody who wants to talk about putting aside tribalisms when it comes to certain things, and actually racism, which is something I'll touch on in a minute again, is one of these things. And the likes of yourself, Jacob, and other people that come in from the United Stand or have come across from the United Stand, and Jeremiah, who's an Arsenal fan, and we have Lofa, who's a Manchester City fan, obviously Boya, who's a Leicester City fan. Having you guys come over and even just acknowledge, you mightn't agree with what we say because we're Liverpool fans, but just to acknowledge the channel and to say that you think what we're doing is good, it means a lot, mate, so thank you. Anyway, on the racism stuff, let me touch on that because, as I'm sure you guys know, Romelu Lukaku received racist abuse yesterday while playing for Inter Milan away in Cagliari. Is it Cagliari or in Italy? I'm going to say Cagliari, but I know it's not pronounced that way. He took a penalty and was getting monkey chants sent in his direction before and after scoring the penalty. This isn't the first time it's happened in that particular stadium, and I'm not trying to say that there isn't a problem in Britain or in the Premier League as well. There is, but there's more and more and more instances we're seeing coming out of Italy as well, and I think we need to just put this shit to bed. We cannot allow this to happen in our sport, and it's going to get to a point where these paltry, stupid little fines that are being dished out are pointless. You're going to have to start closing stadiums, you're going to have to start banning fans for life, you're going to have to start hitting the owners of clubs in the pocket, because that's the only thing that they seem to understand. 99% of us people, even more, we understand there's no place in society for racism, there's no place for bigotry, there's no place for homophobia, there's no place for Islamophobia, there's no place for any of that stuff. Judge people on who they are. Romelu Lukaku, I think he's a shy footballer. But I will slag him over that. I will tell him he's shit. But it would never, ever, ever enter my head to judge somebody for the colour of their skin, or the person that they love, or the God that they pray to. How in this day and age, in 2019, are we still having to talk about this stuff? And we're still having to deal with these type of small-minded idiots out there in the world. Romelu Lukaku is a professional athlete. He is there to be admired. He is there to be mocked if you don't like him in the sense of his footballing ability. But he is not there to be racially abused. That's not what he signed up for. That's not what anybody signs up for in life. Nor is it what they should have to sign up for. So, again, I'm sorry that it happened for Romelu Lukaku. And I'm sure all of you guys will join me in saying there's no place in our sport for this type of crap. In society, not just our sport. I keep saying sport, but we got to stand up, and the authorities really, really have to come down hard on this stuff, because this isn't just one idiot. I mean, this is an entire fucking section of a stadium. It's horrendous. It makes me sad that in 2019 we're still accepting this. And we are accepting it, make no bones about it. The people that are inside that stadium that didn't pull these people up, that didn't point them out to the authorities, that the police didn't come and drag them out of the stadium, to me that's accepting it. Now, I'd seen a statement come out from Cagliari today which is just piss poor. I'm not even going to try and tell you what it is. Have a look at it yourself because I don't want to misquote it. But in my opinion, it was nowhere near strong enough, and it was almost like they were passing the fucking blame. Jamie O'Hara on TalkSport, Kane doesn't dive. TalkSport is a bag of shite. The whole channel is a piece of shit, in my opinion, and it is just my opinion. Anybody who employs Durham and Cundy, they've no credibility with me whatsoever. Purchased 2 tickets to the LFC Salzburg game, said Matt Netherton. That is class, mate. Well in. Delighted for you. Well in. Nice. It looks like myself and Connor are going, hopefully, fingers crossed, going over to the Liverpool Aston Villa game in April. Somebody kindly offered us two tickets to, not just match tickets, but 2 corporate match tickets, which I'm blown away by the generosity of this person. As I said, I don't want to mention their name because they have every right to their privacy. But if you're watching, I just want to say again, thank you so much from behalf of myself and Connor, mate. That is a tremendously generous offer, which we will accept, of course. Doug said, Moise Keane and Montari were racially abused in Cagliari too. It's just getting a joke now. Close the stadiums or make them play behind closed doors. Exactly. You got to hit these people, the owners of the clubs, in the pockets. And the owners of the club might say, well, it's not us that's doing it. The club aren't doing it. The club are saying they're doing all the right things. Yeah, but at the same time, you didn't drag these fuckers out by their ears and throw them outside the stadium or put them off in police cars and send them in to be locked up. You kind of allowed it to happen. And look, it isn't just a problem in Italy. I'm not trying to say that this doesn't exist in the UK or in Ireland or in Europe, because it does. We know it does. Craig Adams said, it's happening more and more lately. It's worrying. Authorities need to get a grip. Peter van der Shan said, Lukaku is a better player than when he played at United, but he scores over 15 goals over there. He will. He'll score some goals over there for sure. Kyle said, I don't understand how people could say anything like that. Exactly, mate. It is nuts. Right, let's move on. Bobby Duncan and Ryan Kent. I don't want to spend too much time on racism because I don't want to give these fuckers the platform. I just want to keep saying every time. I can't not acknowledge it because I'd be part of the problem then. So as much as I don't like talking about it, I feel like it's only right that we do bring it up because it's in our sport. We're all proud of our sport and we need to address these things. Anyway, let's move on. Have a little chat around Ryan Kent and Bobby Duncan. So just as I was coming on here, it hadn't been 100% confirmed, but it will be. I'm sure it probably has been by now. But Ryan Kent will or has completed a move to Rangers for a fee believed to be around £7 million, and he'll rejoin a team that he did so well with last year and a team that really wanted him to come back, to be fair. Stephen Gerrard made no secret of the fact that Rangers would love to have Ryan Kent back up there. For me, I'm just happy for the young man as well. The club seem to be happy with the deal, and from that point of view, that's sound. But for him, he's made it very clear that he wanted to move on and he wanted to start his career elsewhere. You might not like the way he went about it, and to a certain extent I agree with you, but it's not on the same level as the gentleman we're going to speak about in a moment or two. But so for Ryan Kent, everyone's entitled to their own opinions, but for me, look, let him go, let him hopefully fulfill his dreams up in Glasgow Rangers and see how he gets on, and I wish him nothing but the best. Bobby Duncan, he has signed for Fiorentina. The fee has varied because I've seen some things saying 2 million. I've seen other things saying $500,000 with $1 million in bonuses. But what is for certain is Liverpool will get a 20% sell-on clause from Bobby Duncan if Fiorentina do cash in on him in the future. This has been a shitstorm. This entire thing has been a shitstorm. He has kind of kept silent on it, but at the same time, even today when he was over in Fiorentina signing that contract, who got out of the car right after him? That asshole of an agent of his, that sexist, bigoted pig of an agent of his. So look, James Pearce put out something that the agent wasn't technically involved in the deal. I don't know the ins and outs of it, but I can say for certain he was there because I've seen the pictures. And James Pearce is, I've nothing but love and respect for Jimmy Pearce. He's an absolutely tremendous journalist. Where to go on this one? I mean, I have my actual feelings that I would normally come out and say, but I kind of want to taper that with. I want to show some respect to the mental health side of the situation, because his agent did come out and say that Bobby Duncan was suffering with mental health issues around the move. Now, what I would say is, and somebody raised this point on Twitter, and I think it's a very fair point. If your client is suffering with mental health issues and is struggling with things as they stand, is dumping him in a foreign country where he doesn't speak the language, isn't used to the league, won't have any family or friends around him, or many family or friends around him, is that a good move? I don't know. I don't know Bobby Duncan's mental health situation, but it is definitely a little bit hypocritical of the agent to say that and then for him to make this move happen. And we've seen it before with Saida Berahino. He said Saida Berahino was basically, what's this the exact phrase that he said? Saida Berahino was, it was like used as a scapegoat or used as a fall guy or used for, I don't know. There was something unflattering towards West Brom, I think, at the time. What else we got? Will Connor's Coke get a VIP ticket? No. That coat's dead. It's gone. It's had its moment. It's yesterday's news. Will I do a vlog for the Villa game? Probably, yeah. I mean, it's a long time away. We'll see what happens. But yeah, we just have to sort out flights and stuff like that. But tickets sorted out. Hotel won't be a problem. But yeah, thank you to the person in question. Right, Bobby Duncan, Ryan Kent, what are we feeling? Let me read your comments out. Christopher McVicker said the Kent deal is good for him. The Duncan one's a bit risky from Fiorentina buying a player with no first team football. Yep, it is weird. The whole thing is weird, mate. I mean, he signed for the club, said it was his dream, said he loved it, banged in a shitload of goals. Everything seemed to be progressing rather nicely. And then all of a sudden, you hear little murmurings about maybe wanting to go. And then the agent comes out with that crap and you're feeling like this whole situation has been handled extremely poorly by his representatives. I mean, the club have done what the club always do. The club have remained professional throughout. They put out a small statement. I in no way am willing to accept or believe that Liverpool don't value young players' mental health and don't treat them fairly. I mean, the fact that they said he was being bullied, I think is fucking despicable, if I'm being honest about it. And it made me very, very angry that they would label the football club or try and blacken the football club in that way. Or tarnish their reputation is probably a better phrase. Great that the club refused to deal with the bell end, said Craig Challoner. Do I watch Star Wars? No, I do not. Duncan isn't good enough for Liverpool and his agent is a moron, said Peter van der Shans. Duncan's agent's a fucking disgrace, said Stephen Richards. Dave, how are you, mate? Welcome in. Goodbye to Duncan and don't let the door hit you on the way out, said Domestic Butler. Duncan leaves champions of Europe. Well, that's his decision, said Pat Moynihan. The mental health issues were crap, said Dave Sweeney's. He should be disgraced. Good luck to bad rubbish. Duncan's agent has moved Duncan 3 times in 3 years. City, Liverpool, Fiorentina, money grabbing barstool. I like the way he said barstool there. Yeah, look, Bobby Duncan employs the man. We all know what type of a character he is because a lot of stuff has come out on social media. And I mean the agent here. I'm not talking about Bobby Duncan. I don't know anything about Bobby Duncan other than he's a young professional footballer who's Steven Gerrard's cousin and he knows where the back of the net is. Bobby Duncan has made his bed now. He will go over to Fiorentina. Let's see how he gets on in Italy. I have a funny feeling that he won't be good enough in the long term. That's my gut feeling on this. I honestly think we'll win number 7 this season, or win the league and number 7 this season, said Liam Granby. I know it's early doors, but I truly believe in Jurgen and the lads. Good to see that, mate. It's good to see that back into the club. Thomas Caulfield said if his mental health is, i.e. depression, it's a bad move. Yes. Now, it's very difficult to talk about this because there's a couple of things. You've got a young player, and I never want to belittle or speak ill of a young footballer. You've got the mental health issues, which none of us know the exact extent of, so we've got to be very careful talking about this. So I've kind of kept my opinion on him, on Bobby Duncan, kind of low on this. But the agent, there's not enough superlatives, there's not enough phrases I can use to call that lad a dickhead because he really does seem like a piece of work. Peter van der Shan says a common thread with European clubs taking risks on young English players these days. There is, absolutely, but if Bobby Duncan had have moved to, let's say, Leverkusen or Leipzig, I think it probably would have been a better move for him. to develop in the Bundesliga. Italy, I don't know. I don't know why the move to Fiorentina came about. I don't know what made it so attractive to him. It seemed to be quite impatient. That's from the outside. That's how it looks to me. And I don't know, maybe he was just told that Liverpool he wasn't going to be good enough in the long term. I really don't know. Callum said, Duncan tweeted thanking LFC for the support. I thought he was bullied, contradicting himself. I know, the statement was horseshit. That's one thing I'll say. And people seen through it. I mean, I read underneath the statement, I read the comments, hoping that people didn't go too far with it. And what I read, most people were just kind of calling it for what it was, which was just bullshit, to be fair. Alejandro said Duncan can take his poor agent and himself elsewhere. We've young talented forwards other than him, Brewster and Glatzel. And let's go back 2 weeks. I did say all along, to me, Paul Glatzel seemed like a better player than Bobby Duncan and somebody who I would have had more faith in. And you can go back and watch the streams. I'm not just saying this because the man's gone. Why Fiorentina though, said Jack Spage. I mean, last year he turned down the likes of Bayern and Paris Saint-Germain to come to us. Only he can tell you that, I suppose. And look, only time will tell if it's the right move for him or not. Curtis Dalton said, did you see the Arsenal fan ringing up Radio 5 Live and saying Arsenal will win the league and Robbie Savage just laugh? I did see that, mate, yeah. Look, he's entitled to believe whatever he wants. It might have been a bit tongue-in-cheek, I don't know, but they're not going to win the fucking league. Not a hope. Labs Gamer, how are you, buddy? Welcome back in. John Cable said, I wonder if Bobby Duncan expected preferred treatment because he's related to a club legend and Steven Gerrard, but it doesn't work like that, unfortunately, for him. Again, I can't speak for him, but I can agree with you that you're not going to get preferential treatment just because you're somebody's cousin. You got to be good enough, and the club have clearly deemed him not good enough at this moment in time, hence why they allowed him to be sold. Well, Ryan Kent, what's this? Ryan Kent will do well. I think so, Scott. I think so. I think, honestly, I don't hold any resentment towards Ryan Kent at all. I know he did a couple of little iffy things with removing stuff from his bio and stuff like that, but I think he's just a young player that wants to play, and I think he'll do alright, you know. I think he'll go up to Rangers and he'll do quite well. I have a really itchy nose, sorry. Darren Calvin said 345 watching, 64 likes. Hit that like button, please, ladies and gents, and please do, as Darren has said. And also, we're 20 subscribers away from our next target of 22,300. So if you are enjoying the stream, please do hit that subscribe button, ladies and gents. Randy, how are you, my friend? God, it's been a while. Do I think that Salah and Mane don't really get on, or do you think that the media are just trying to throw a spanner in the works because we're that good? I think the media are just trying to throw a spanner in the works because we're that good, Randy. There's no denying Sadio Mane was pissed off. There's no denying that. We've seen it. It was in front of our eyes. There's no denying that Mohamed Salah should have passed on at least 2 occasions. We went through all of this in last night's stream. But it's been blown out of all proportion as well. And I'm part of that problem about it being blown out of all proportion because I'm still sitting here talking about it. So I think it's a storm in a teacup. I think they just hold themselves and their teammates to very high standards, and rightly so. And I think his decision-making, Mohamed Salah's decision-making, was poor on those couple of occasions. But I don't in any way think that there's any ill feeling within the club between the players. Not at all. That's just my opinion. I really don't think that there is. I don't think Jurgen Klopp would allow that to fester or allow that to develop. Did you see James Milner, by the way, saying that, again, I'm kind of paraphrasing his comment here, but he said he put up a picture of Sadio Mane being really angry on the bench, and he said that I think I'm to blame on that. I think Sadio was really angry because I didn't get to play. And you gotta love Jimmy Milner. You really do. What a man. Icardi to PSG, said me, myself and I think that's a loan with an agreement to buy at the end of it, or an option to buy at the end of it for, is it 70 million euro, mate, if my memory serves. Yeah, it's look, anyone who moves to PSG moves there for one reason and one reason only, and that is a massive fucking chunk of money, because nobody grew up dreaming about playing in the French league, let's be honest about it, and they're not going to win the Champions League anytime soon. So I don't know, Mauro Icardi's always looked like a footballer with bags and bags of potential, but he carries a lot of baggage as well, so it'll be interesting to see how it works out. Let's hope his career goes sideways, not like Germany where he could have had the likes of Sancho and other youngsters to help him. It is a strange move, said Mr. A. It is, mate. It is, really is. I think a lot of us would have understood a move to the Bundesliga because that's a path that's been trodden by a lot of young English players or a lot of young British players in recent times. But look, as I said, it is done. Bobby Duncan is a Fiorentina player now, and we'll wait and see how his career gets on. Liam said they probably offered him first team football. That's why he's gone there. It's a joke. I agree with you, Craig. Don't see him being successful. Stephen Richards said, Craig, I truly think Klopp's assistant will be our next manager. Pep Linders, there's a very good chance, mate. I know Klopp thinks really highly of Pep Linders, and I know coaches around Europe rate him very highly. It didn't work out for him, obviously, when he had his little spell in management in Holland, but that doesn't mean anything. I think Pep Linders is an excellent coach. Whether he's or would be ready to just jump straight into the Liverpool job, I don't know. I really don't know, but he's a lot of experience. As I said before, he coached at Porto for 6 or 7 years, helped bring through Ruben Neves when he was there, amongst other players. JW said, removing mention of the club in the social media tag is a bit petty, but nothing to rag the kid about. If this is in relation to Ryan Kent, I think, yes, I agree. I mean, he's a kid, he's a young lad, and we all did stupid things when we were young. Which is why I didn't really go too heavy or go too hard on Bobby Duncan either, because he's only 18 years of age. And when I was 18 years of age, I was a fucking moron. I was an absolute gobshite. I'm still a bit of a gobshite, but I'm a bit more of a wiser gobshite these days. It's the agent in Bobby Duncan's case that I have the massive issue with. Ryan Kent, I honestly wish him well. As I said, I hope the guy goes and has a good career for himself, because he's a decent footballer. I don't think he was ever at the level of our first team or would get to that level, but he's certainly very, very well capable of playing at the highest level in Scotland, maybe in the Premier League someday, but not for me for a top 6 club. Rod said, if Duncan keeps that agent, it means he's an arse too. Yes, I get you. I wouldn't want my friend, my son, my brother, my cousin to be surrounding himself with people who make poor decisions, or as poor decisions as his agent seems to have made on many occasions. There's been like 20 loans today and no transfers, said Mark Meehan. Loads of loans. You're right, mate. Fucking loads of them. James Milner's a true professional. The likes of Duncan should model themselves on, said Stephen Richards. Mate, I can't agree enough. James Milner has lived the lifestyle. He has lived the lifestyle of a professional athlete. Teetotaler, always kept himself a good nick, always done things the right way. And it's been a pleasure and a privilege watching him at this football club. And his personality is class as well. Brian Morrissey says, what about the lad Herbie Kane? Lots of talk. Think he's 20 now. Yeah, there was talk of him going on loan somewhere, but I think it was where he was on loan last season. I think it was a League One club. I can't remember where it was. It didn't come through at the time. I actually don't know if he did get a move in the end though. Would you trade Mane and Salah for Mbappe? Mane and Salah? No, not a chance, mate. There's no way I'm trading both of them for Kylian Mbappe. No, not a hope. Craig, you should have gone to Liverpool versus Watford the 14th December. At least you'd be guaranteed to see a 5-0 win. It was all about access to tickets, Callum. That's been the only issue for me. So when I got this very, very kind offer of 2 tickets for myself and Connor in one of the lounges, and we were given a choice of games, and we said we'd like to go March or April time, because financially that would give us, a better time to pay for the flights and stuff like that. So the person in question very kindly allowed us to, and it looks like we're going to the Villa game, which would be brilliant. Maybe Bobby Duncan lost his heart when Harvey Elliott came in. It's definitely something to consider, Bernadette. And actually, do you know what? It's something I haven't considered up until you mentioned that point. And it's very easy for us to forget that we brought in Harvey Elliott as well. And that kid looks like a baller. He really does. And definitely, for me, much further along, or much closer to first team football than Bobby Duncan was. So it's a very good point, Bernadette. Gerald said, all I hope is his agent should not... Well, I'm not going to say that. I think he meant to say ruin his career. I think that's a fairer way of saying it. Sadio and Mo are 2 winners, and that's what it comes down to. Sometimes good to have in the squad. They're pushing one another to rise their level, said Liam. Yeah, I get that, Liam. I agree with you. Galatasaray signed Radamel Falcao as well, said John Bell. Yeah, I think it was like 25,000 people or something like that turned out to welcome Radamel Falcao at the airport, or when he arrived at Galatasaray, which is nuts. How long will I stream? Every night you ask me the same question, my friend, and every night I'll give you the same answer till about 11:15, mate. Alejandro said, I hope Linders becomes the next king over Stevie G at the minute because Stevie needs a little more time. I just hope the current king stays for a while longer, as do I, Alejandro, mate. I love saying your name, Alejandro. I feel like, what's her name that had the song? Lady Gaga. Didn't she have a song called Alejandro? It's a wonderful name, mate. It really is a beautiful name. Where did they get the kit from? I don't mean this to sound like a crass answer, mate, but from the club. It's they release a limited edition blackout kit every year with New Balance, and this one went on sale the other day and sold out within a couple of hours. So I was fortunate enough to jump on and grab one before it got sold out. It was £75, which is quite steep, but I do love it. It is really nice, and it is something I will keep up. I mean, I'll wear it, but I'll also keep it up as well. Usually, I'm a fucker for throwing away my old kits. When it comes to the end of the season, I usually throw away the kits from the season before. I don't know why. I'm just somebody that doesn't really wear older stuff unless it's real retro stuff. Craig, come over on the boat in your Bentley, said Stephen Richards. Do you know what? The boat, mate, is ridiculously expensive. We did look at that. It was more expensive for myself and Connor to go on the ferry and bring my car over than it was to fly over and book a hotel. For both of them, like from myself and Connor and the hotel, it was cheaper than just getting the ferry over. Thomas Caulfield said, nothing would make me happier than seeing Jimmy Milner getting a Premier League medal with the Reds. It was the Champions League medal I really wanted him to get because it was the one thing he hadn't won in his career, and now he has. Domestic Butler said, Craig, I hope Liverpool are... What's this? Where's it gone? Sorry. I hope Liverpool are crowned champions. The Villa game would be amazing for you to be over there for that one. I'm just happy to be able to go over, mate. I'm genuinely really, really excited to get to go to a game this season because I've been to none last season. The year before, I think I went to 3 or 4. The year before that, I think 4 or 5. So to not get to one last year, it was tough. So yeah, when the offer came to go to one this year, I'm very, very happy about it. Blackout shirt is looking fit. Thank you very much. I really like it. A lot of people don't wear them. They just keep them up because they're collector's items. But fuck that. As soon as it came, I was ripping the tag off and putting it on. Next year, Duncan will leave Italy because it turns out he didn't like pizza, said Rod. Sam said, hi Craig, where do you usually get your footy kits? It depends which kits they are. Sam, I always try and get the Liverpool kits from the club store, if possible. Sometimes I get them from 3 Retro if I want the retro stuff, or Score Draw. Sometimes I buy them from Sports Direct, got to be honest about that as well. And sometimes it's just an impulsive purchase when you're there, mate, on the spot. Okay, someone's already asked me the question about trading Mane and Salah for Mbappe, and the answer would be no, my friend. It is Lady Gaga that had the Alejandro song. Thank you, Joanne. Don't just throw them away, pass them on, donate to charity, or sell on eBay. Well, I do recycle them. When I say throw them away, mate, they go into the clothes recycling things. I don't just fuck them in the bin. Like, I wouldn't sell them on eBay because I would rather give them to somebody, but none of my mates are massive football fans, believe it or not. I've some Liverpool mates, but they'd have the shirts anyway. But yeah, the majority of my mates, believe it or not, aren't really big football fans. Stephen Richard said, Craig, have you seen the new street training range? Oh yes, Stephen, I have. It is tasty, mate. It's really nice. New Balance are trying to sell as much as they can before Nike take over. Yeah, no, it is really nice, to be fair. Drop your old kids down to me, said Thomas Caulfield. Yeah, look, I will let people know from now on, rather than just recycling them in the yoke, because I actually put a few out the other day, if I'm being honest. Being on the ferry scares me, said Hayne. There's loads of water and no land. Yeah, it's not too far though, to be fair, between Ireland or between Dublin and Holyhead. Icardi to Inter. No, Icardi to PSG, mate. Mkhitaryan to Roma, Smalling on loan, and Bruno to Real Madrid. Yes, a lot of deals getting done here today. Am I related to Peter Kay? Yes, mate. I'm his funnier, less hairy, more Irish cousin. Yeah, Peter Kay wishes he had my sense of humour, mate. Do you know what I mean? Look at me. I'm only fucking hilarious. No, I'm not related to Peter Kay. If that's an attempt at trolling, mate, you need to up your fucking game. The KLOPP Council said if it was to sell Dejan Lovren in January or even next season, who could you see replacing him with? I think he could move in January if we haven't got injuries by then. I don't know if we will replace him or if Sepp Vandenberg will be his replacement long term. If he had moved on this season, we'd have been in a tricky place. Now, if we get a whole year out of him and Sepp gets another year's coaching and stuff, then I would say he will be the replacement. Do you have a soft spot for any other European teams? Barcelona. Said this many times on the stream. I have a love-hate relationship with them now, obviously, over the way that they've poached our players, shall we say, over the years. But yeah, Barcelona was the first football shirt I ever had. Wait, Nike kit takeover. It looks that way, mate. Yeah, it does look that way, Steve, that Nike are the favourites or the front runners to be Liverpool's kit manufacturer from next season. It was a classic shirt. Peter loved wearing the kit and wore playing football all the time. I don't know who you're talking to there. Peter van der Schaans, I gather. Kennedy's leaving Chelsea as well, said Doug. My God, loads of stuff. Did Bruno go to Madrid? Let me just give you confirmation or not on that. Let me just open the phonio here. Right, let me get Sky Sports open and check if it did happen. Not seeing any confirmation. Yeah, not seeing any confirmation that it's definitely happened. Icardi has joined Paris Saint-Germain on loan. That's been confirmed. Lucas Piazon has joined Portuguese side Rio Ave on a 2-year loan deal. So that one didn't work out. Another Chelsea signing that absolutely just fucking flopped. Yeah, no, I'm not seeing any confirmation or anything on the Bruno Fernandes thing. So maybe somebody has more up-to-date information than I have at the moment. Herbie Kane's apparently playing our EFL Cup games this year. Thank you for that, Liverpool 6 times. Think we can keep Klopp? If so, how much would it take? I don't think it's down to money, mate. I think it's genuinely down to his health and his well-being. So, as you can imagine, being a football manager at the top level takes a lot of commitment, and it has a toll on both your health, I suppose, your mental health, your family life, everything. So maybe Klopp will just need a little bit of a break. And if that's his wish, then we've got to respect that. What's the difference between having New Balance or Nike as a kit manufacturer? The money that the club will get, I suppose, Nathan, is the honest answer to that. For us fans, it'll be a red kit with a Liverbird on it, and whether it's a Nike tick, an Adidas badge, a New Balance badge. I'm going to say Nike for somebody out there who I know doesn't like when I say Nike. Yeah, the price might go up a little bit, but all in all, buddy, it's about the Liverbird, isn't it? And we'll wear it regardless and wear it with pride. Would I prefer Nike, I'm going to say, for that person, or Adidas? I prefer Adidas by a very, very, very long way. The whole thing around Nike/Nike and Liverpool for me just doesn't sit right. It just doesn't seem like a good fit, but I also just want what's best for the club, and if there's a lot more money coming down from Nike, then Nike it shall be. Frank Lampard left Chelsea, played for that other club and then City, then managed Derby and finally went back to Chelsea, and Lucas fucking Piazon was still there, said Brian. Fernandes passed his medical. Callum, thank you very much for that one. Curtis Dalton said, I think you should replace Klopp, Craig. You're a standout guy like him. Keep up the good work. Thank you. Me and Klopp are the dream team. I'll tell you what, I'd just be like this the whole time. I wouldn't be able to say it, and I'd just be walking around going, Is it time for a hug now, Kloppo? Can I have a hug? Because that's all I'd want, is a hug. Icardi would be a great player for PSG, said Jaden. He could be. He's a very good footballer, Icardi, if he can get his head right. Who's the one player you want to sign next year? Said Mohammed. Look, the answers, mate, are Jadon Sancho, Kai Havertz, Kylian Mbappe. They're the three. They're the three front runners. I mean, they're the three, I suppose, marquee signings we'd all love. But it's whoever Klopp wants, mate. I just want the manager to get the players that he thinks will fit into his system and will give increased competition to the squad and will give players a boost and give us a chance to win more stuff. That's my honest answer. I trust Jurgen Klopp's judgment infinitely more than I trust my own. Boya said, would love to see Eddie Howe step up to a big club. Would I like him as a Klopp replacement? Not yet, no. I think he's a very good manager, but going from Bournemouth to Liverpool, I think is too big of a step, Boya. What about you, though? What about you? Could he go into Leicester after Brendan Rodgers? Thanks for saying Nike, Craig. I knew there was somebody Cavalier. You're welcome, my friend. Adidas for me all day, but money talk, said Liam Granby. Yeah, as I said all along, the thought of those sexy retro Adidas kits. Yes, please. List your top 10 favourite Liverpool home kits of all time. God almighty, that's too many, mate. That's like 10 is too much. Let's go the 89-90 candy shirt. The same shirt that was a Crown Paint shirt before that. The 2013-14 home shirt. The first pepper red shirt that we had. So that was what? 16-17, I think. What other ones have I liked? I thought I didn't really like any of the Reebok shirts. Wasn't a mad fan of the Umbro shirts, even though they're before my time. I didn't mind the Adidas shirts, and I can't remember. Oh, home shirts. Yeah, I did mind the Adidas shirt that had the. So we had one that had the three Adidas, the white stripes down here, but then we had another one that had them down on the lower half of the shirt, and they had them on both sides. I like that shirt. I call it the Dean Saunders shirt. Don't know why, but it reminds me of Dean Saunders. Yeah, they're probably my 5 favourites. I would like to add Liverpool's midfield. Are you happy? Craig, would you like to add to Liverpool's midfield, or are you happy with our midfield? I'm sound about, actually. I think we've got really good options in midfield. If I was to add someone anywhere, it would be to the forward line. I'd like another wide, pacey forward as backup. But I think our midfield, yeah, I think we're stocked in there. I really do. Now, if James Milner moves on, I suppose it'll be dependent on whether we bring in Marco Grujic back or not. But other than that, we've a lot of options. I mean, we've 3 central midfield positions available. So we've got who? We've got Fabinho, we've got Henderson, we've got Milner, we've got Lallana, we've got Gini Wijnaldum. We have, who else we got in midfield? I suppose Shaqiri to a lesser extent. And I always forget somebody when I go through these. We've Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain. I always forget somebody, don't I? I always forget somebody bleeding obvious. We've got 7-8 options for 3 midfield positions, which I think is enough. Oh, Naby Keita, obviously. Sorry, Naby Keita as well. So, yeah, different players, different roles in that midfield, but I think a lot of diversity as well in there. So the likes of James Milner, Jordan Henderson, Naby Keita, Gini Wijnaldum, Fabinho can play in various guises or various different forms of midfield. So loads for me, loads of bodies. I think the creativity is in that midfield as well. If we see Naby Keita and Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain stay fit and get to the levels they're capable of, then we'll have the creativity I think a lot of us are craving from midfield. And again, I keep saying, don't underestimate Jordan Henderson's ability for to pick out a pass or to play a through ball. I think once he's in that more advanced role, we'll get to see more and more of that in his game. I like your Liverpool shirt, said Jaden. Thank you, mate. It's the limited edition blackout shirt for this season that went on sale Wednesday or Thursday. I think it's sold out, although some people are still finding the odd one here or there. Paul Turner said the 93-94 home shirt was my least favourite. Too much white and green. V-neck, plus it was Souness era. I mean, if we're going non-home shirts, the chessboard shirt from 96, you know the one I'm talking about, the green and white one with the grandad collar, love that shirt. And I love the gold shirt with all the like really bright yellowy gold shirt. Same year as the green and white one, 96. I love that. I think it was the 3rd shirt that year. Red Tick Gaming said Mbappe, don't know about that. I mean, there's no doubt about the man's quality. Kylian Mbappe is a superstar, and if we got him at this football club, he would be amazing. Virgil van Dijk said the signing a deal with Nike make us more likely to be able to sign Mbappe and other talents. Well, look, this is a guess because clearly I don't know the inner workings of these deals, but I would say yes. I would say it would definitely at least get us into a room or get some conversation started, or it would be in Nike's interest to have some Nike branded footballers or some Nike athletes wearing the kit. So I would say so. I would imagine so. Favourite League of Ireland kit? Cork City. I always like Cork City's kits. Do you remember that stream when Mbappe rumours broke and we were all going mad? Yeah, I do. I still don't think it'll ever happen, by the way. But we can dream, can't we? Doug said he liked the yellow one from 2004, 2005. Fabinho is the player that's shown best for me, Craig. What do you think? Embro, mate, he has been outstanding. Absolutely outstanding. I have to say, when Fabinho joined the football club, I was very happy. I knew he was a good player, but I think I still underestimated just how good of a player he was, or he could become. And I think there's even more to come from him, but he is outstanding, mate. Absolutely outstanding. And definitely was the standout midfield player in our last game. What else we got? The Burnley game, Firmino was in a better position to score. Look what Salah did. Okay, Jason, I mean, you seem to be going on and on about Mohamed Salah, mate. If you think he's greedy, fair enough. That's your opinion, mate. You are fully entitled to your opinion. All I'm saying is, I don't think there's any bad blood between Mohamed Salah, Sadio Mane, Bobby Firmino, or any of the players at the club. And if the manager believes that he's being selfish, then the manager will have a word. I mean, Jurgen Klopp's no fool. He's not going to allow something to fester and cause issues at the football club. And I also don't like people to come in and piss all over our players. If you claim to be a fan of Liverpool Football Club, then to come in and undermine or try and belittle a player of the stature of Mohamed Salah, I just think it's shitty. To be honest, mate, you're entitled to your opinion. As I said, you're entitled to think he's a bit selfish, but reading through some of your comments in the chat, you just seem to want to go all in on the lad. So I'm giving you a few minutes there to have your say, but I think it's time to wind your neck in a little bit, mate, and show a bit more respect to a player who has done a lot for this football club and will continue to do a lot for this football club. And you've been kicked out now by John Hamilton. So, as always, I fully back John and I fully back Brian. And I don't like anybody who just goes all in like that. I mean, he was selfish at times in the last game, yeah. I think that's fair to say, but some people just want to blame Salah on everything, and that's just fucking wrong as well. Popboy Doyle said that was so last week, which it was. You're right, mate. It was last week. As we spoke about Laporte being ruled out. Oh, Shamal George, actually. A little bit on Shamal George. We spoke about him the other night and I was trying to remember what happened. Shamal George is going to spend the first half of the season on loan at Marine AFC, a non-league club obviously in Liverpool. So good luck to Shamal George. Liverpool have reportedly sent scouts out to watch Kakir, who's the Trabzonspor goalkeeper, over the weekend. So he'd been linked to us before, if you guys remember that one. So yeah, it's interesting to keep an eye on that one. Smuddy said cheers from the United stand. How are you, mate? Welcome. Thank you so much again. I remember you from coming in before, buddy. So great to have you with us. Thank you. I hope you're keeping well. John Cable said, personally, I think Salah passed too much last season. When the final pass he didn't lead to a goal, I thought he should have taken a shot himself more often. Maybe Klopp has told him to shoot more this season. Possibly. I mean, we don't know what gets said exactly. Boya said, seems to be a scapegoat. Yeah, I mean, people are always looking for fucking problems. That's the issue. Everything needs to be sensationalised. People need something to get angry about. People need something to talk about. People need something. I mean, again, looking at the point of view of the channel, I could have gone all in here. I could have made this a fucking massive deal. I could have put thumbnails out there about Salah. I could have really drove lots of traffic towards the channel. But that's not the way we do things. We're here to have rational conversations and not to sensationalise the shit out of everything. And sometimes someone just gets mad for a minute and it's over. It's forgotten about. We don't need to sensationalise it. It's an issue that will be sorted out. And Klopp said it was already sorted out in the changing room afterwards. That Sadio was in there smiling. Yeah, and I fully believe him. And again, to reiterate this point, forwards are inherently selfish. They have to be. Sometimes they do go a little bit too far, and Mane has had instances over the seasons as well where he's pulled the trigger when there's been players in better positions. Bobby has done the same thing, and I'm sure that they'll all do it again going forward. But it's just about Jurgen Klopp sitting down with these guys, showing them what they did wrong or what he believes they did wrong, and just trying to help them make those better decisions going forward. Because small things at the very top level can make a big difference, and these guys are perfectionists. They want to be, they didn't get to where they are by not being competitive and not trying to get the best out of themselves and expecting the best from themselves and their teammates. So again, I just wouldn't think too much about it. The KLOPP Council said, Craig, just wanted to say thanks for having us on the show a few weeks ago. You're top lad and produce brilliant content. Thank you, Connor. I really appreciate that, mate. And as I said before, go over and check out Connor Niblett's new channel, the KLOPP Council, as you can see him there in the chat. Marina in the Northern Premier. Yes, still non-league though, Stephen, mate. Still non-league. You know, it's not a football league club. As in, they're not in League 2, League 1, Championship. What have we got here? Salah wouldn't be a world-class forward if he wasn't a bit selfish at Virgil van Dijk. Is it true Sadio's getting dropped for big Shaqiri? No. Why would it be true? People are just thinking because Shaqiri didn't go on international duty that all of a sudden he's going to be playing every week. I mean, it's good that he's shown commitment to want to get into the side. I absolutely applaud him for that. And if he has that type of attitude that he wants to knuckle down and force his way in, brilliant. I mean, good for Shaqiri, but he's not going to get... I mean, there could be rotation. I mean, we touched on this a little bit earlier in the stream. I'm expecting some rotation for the Newcastle game, but if my memory is correct, I don't think Sadio Mane is going to go on international duty during this window, or during this international period, so I wouldn't expect him to be rested for the Newcastle game. In fact, I'd expect him to absolutely start that game because he will have been with the club training, probably had a few days off to get a bit of R&R, but other than that, I'd expect him on the training ground, and the players that do remain behind I think are more likely to play. Can't be arsed said, making mountains out of molehills. Exactly, I fully agree with that one. What have we got? Ladies and gents, don't forget, if you're enjoying this stream, to hit that subscribe button and give us a thumbs up. 11 players, including Henderson and Oxlade-Chamberlain, didn't train with England today. Yeah, they'll be doing some recovery stuff, mate. I did see a little bit on Sky about that. What's the problem? 12 points, 4 from 4, said Andy Davis. Exactly, mate. Winning. Top of the league, 100% record. 13 wins in a row. You gotta love it. Unbeaten at home in the Premier League in 2 years, and people are still looking for problems, Anthony. It's I think it's fear. It's fear from outside influences as well. That's what I will say. There's obviously a large section of people that don't want to see Liverpool succeed, and it happens when you're at the top, mate. People want to shoot you down. When you're champions of Europe, you've got a target in your back. John Bale said, "Have him at United. Fans don't like him." I don't know what that's in relation to. Thomas Caulfield, nope. What's that? I don't know what that's about. Sorry, I was trying to read something out there and I couldn't figure out what it was in relation to. Rod, is it your birthday? Oh, happy birthday, mate. I didn't know it was your birthday, Rod. 21 again. Happy birthday and lots of love from all of us, mate. Craig, did you hear that Kennedy left on loan to Getafe? I didn't know the club. I did know he'd left on loan, Dylan, but thank you, mate, to Getafe. Interesting. Shaqiri brings some unique skills. How do you think they'll be best used for the Reds? Delivery. I think with Shaqiri, you can get that little moment of magic, that perfect cross, that well-directed free kick. And he doesn't shy away. He doesn't hide in games. That's one thing I'll always say about Shaqiri. Much like Gini Wijnaldum, he always shows for the ball and always makes himself an option and always backs himself, which I like in a player. Now, I'm not shouting Shaqiri's biggest fan. I think he's a squad player at best for Liverpool, but he does have certain attributes, as you've mentioned, mate, that can make him a big asset at times. He's an impact sub for me, but I do think he does have facets of his game that can benefit us, as we've seen before. Richard said, greetings from Tanzania. This is just like the Aguero situation with Pep. Not a big deal. Exactly, Richard, but the media, mate, will try and make it to a massive deal to try and undermine Liverpool, and as we like to say on the channel, mate, fuck them. And thank you, Richard, by the way, and lots of love to you from Ireland. How many points will Liverpool and City get this season? I said yesterday I think 95 points will win the league this year, because I'm expecting other clubs to step up a little bit and give Liverpool and Manchester City a bit more of a challenge with regards to taking points off them here or there. But I do think it will be between us and City. Then again, I honestly didn't see them getting 98 and us getting 97 last year. I thought it would have been around 93, 94 to win the league perhaps. I mean, look at the level that both clubs are having to play at there. 98 points and 97 points last season is just remarkable. Shaqiri long range shooting is his main trait, said Callum. Yep, as he's got a wand of a left foot on him as well. Free kicks. He's quite nifty with a free kick. Did you hear Sebastian Coates gave away 3 penalties at the weekend and got sent off? I don't mean to be laughing. No, I didn't hear that, mate. That is mad. 3 penalties and got sent off. That's a day that he's going to want to forget, isn't it? But look, we can't. Yeah, I don't know what to say about that. There's no way of sugarcoating that. That's a shit show. Shaqiri got the assist for the Origi goal at Newcastle, which won the game, and he got an assist against Barcelona. Haynes had 106 points. I don't think that will ever be done, mate. I really don't see anybody ever getting 106 points. But then again, I wouldn't have seen somebody breaking 100 points either, so I could very well be wrong on that one. Jack's Page said I wouldn't mind seeing Salah play left wing. Well, we know that right side is his preferred side, and as people have pointed out before, Sadio Mane was playing on that right sided position before Salah came in, and Sadio has had to move over to the left side to accommodate or to allow us to get the best out of Mohamed Salah. So it's definitely his favourite side, the right hand side. Callum said 99 points this season and Manchester City will get 95. Would it be frustrating to win the league on 99 points? That's a weird question, isn't it? Because one, you're winning the league and you're going to be absolutely ecstatic and over the moon, and we'll celebrate like we've never fucking celebrated probably, but 99 points would be a little bit frustrating. I've got to admit, from somebody who likes round numbers like that, it would be frustrating, but in a very beautiful way, of course, because you'd be winning the league. Boya said, I believe Leicester are the only team to take points off all the top 4 last season. Leicester are a good side, Anthony, as I've said before, and great start to the season so far from them. Currently, I think sitting in those Champions League spots, a long way to go, but I do think ultimately it'll be Liverpool or Manchester City fighting it out again. Dominus, how are you, mate? Welcome in. Always lovely to see you. Obviously, Manchester City fan in the chat, buddy. How are you? Without Sané, Manchester City won't win the league, said no skill. And let's not forget as well, Laporte is going to be out for, it looks like, 4 to 6 months. And again, I want to reiterate the fact that I wish him a speedy recovery, and I never want to wish or hear of a player picking up an injury. But it would also be naive of us not to point out that with Vincent Kompany leaving, with Manchester City not going out and adding maybe Harry Maguire or somebody into their squad, and losing Laporte, with Sané out, it does weaken them a lot, which will benefit Liverpool, I suppose, going forward. I did see Fernandinho say that he has been training to drop in as a centre-back if needs be, so you might see Fernandinho dropping into that centre-back role and seeing, obviously, Rodri drop in and play in the Fernandinho role, and the holding midfield role. 106 in homage to Shankly, said, hey, I get it, mate, I get where you're coming from. As we said earlier on, start of the stream, today would have been Bill Shankly's 106th birthday. David Williams had 92 points for Liverpool. Curtis said the Salah situation has been blown out of the water. People are saying with him not passing more, we won't get game or we won't win games. But everyone needs to remember that we've lost one league game in 51. 1 in 51. Yeah, we don't lose very many fucking games. I said to my wife yesterday, 13 wins in a row in the league. I'm forgetting what it's like to come on into a stream when Liverpool haven't won a league game. It's been so long. And that is a great thing to be able to say. Dylan said, if we win the league with 99 points, people will still mock us for not getting over 100. I will refer you back to the fuck 'em comment, Dylan. But you're right, they will. Because they'll always find a way. They said we're unbearable winning the Champions League. Like, we're not supposed to celebrate if our team wins something. What are we supposed to do? Just sit back and go, they're all shy, fuck them. Want them all out of our club. Of course we're going to celebrate, because we love our football club. We're damn right to be celebrating, and we're damn right to be unbearable as well. In fact, I think we're not being unbearable enough, ladies and gents. I think if you're on social media tonight, it's only fair of you to point out to everybody and let people know that Liverpool are the 6 times champions of Europe, current Super Cup holders, possibly World Club champions come December. People need to be reminded that we're just that damn good. Gary Lineker said he would go ball like Craig if he won the league. If he mentioned, I don't think he quite mentioned like Craig in his sentence, but that would be nice if he did. Can't wait to play City. I think we have them this season, said Joseph Barca. And I do think that there's going to be, that those 2 games are going to have a big impact on the season. I really do. City should play Sterling at centre back. He's good in the air, said Craig Adams. Has Bobby Duncan left? Asked Jason Ward. Yes, mate. He signed for Fiorentina. A deal that will see Liverpool get between 1.5 and 2 million, depending on who you're listening to, and the 20% sell-on clause if and when he leaves Fiorentina in the future. We'll get 1 point more than City, said Dave Sweeney. That'll fucking do me, mate. I'll take that. 1 point more than City is good enough for me. Next year they'll be losing David Silva as well. They'll be short on captains. That's why I think we need Milner to stay a while longer. Well, I would say we've got quite a few leaders in our team at the minute. So if James Milner was to move on, we still have Henderson, we still have Van Dijk, Robertson, of course, an international captain as well. Bobby Firmino is an absolute leader. Alisson Becker's a leader. Now, I'm not saying they're captains, obviously, because they're not their international captains, but we've got leaders all over the pitch, mate, and that's what you want. You should have a team of leaders. Cavalier said, we're going to lose the World Club Championship. I can sense it. Whatever happens, happens, mate. There's no point in worrying about something now or stressing about something we've no control over. We'll have to wait and see what happens in December. As I've said before, the Club World Championship is something that Liverpool have never won as a football club, and no English club has ever held the Champions League, the Super Cup and the World Club Cup at one time. So we will be the first English club to do that if and when we do it. What was this one? Where was that comment? Said if we won the league, something. Ah, there we are. Happily Egg said, if we win the league, I'll go for the wide parting like you, Craig. Yeah, very fucking wide, mate. Next summer, I want us to sign Sancho, Havertz and Neves. Can you imagine, Bassett, if we went and did that, mate? People's heads would melt. Has Cavani left PSG? No, not that I'm aware of, Doug. Again, unless I've missed something, not that I'm aware of. Again, just going to keep clicking on the transfer thing here. Yeah, no headline or anything to say that he's left. Darmian has left Man United for Parma. Celtic signed Frimpong. Celtic have signed Frimpong for Manchester City on a 4-year deal. Jeremy Frimpong. Yeah, no, not seen anything there about Cavani leaving PSG. I think we'll make good cash on the 20% sell-on for Duncan, said Jason Ward. I don't know how his career is going to go over there, mate. I think he'll end up back playing either lower tier Europe somewhere or Championship football maybe. He could prove us all wrong though. I mean, if the guy's backing himself, let's wait and see how it works out. Apparently Delph was kept on an extra season as a leader in their dressing room. Certainly a senior pro. What Bassett said, I think if Trent stays at right back, he'll definitely become captain. Look, it would be a miracle if he does not become captain of Liverpool Football Club someday. I mean, Trent has to be nailed on to be captain of Liverpool Football Club at some point. He just has to be. Faris Hussein said, hey Craig, love the show from Malaysia. I'm genuinely blown away, mate, to hear where people tune in and say hello from, and thank you again, as I always say, for coming in and saying hello to us and for watching the channel, mate. I really do appreciate your time and your love. Thank you, and love right back to you from Ireland. That's all I can say, buddy. But again, nothing but love. Thank you so much. How many trophies we win this season, including the Super Cup? We've already won 3. I'm going for 3. The Super Cup, the World Club Championship for me. I'm gonna go balls out and say the league. Oh, yeah, why not? 3. 4 would be nice, but I take that. I take the Super Cup, the World Club Championship and the Premier League. That would make me very, very happy. Thomas Caulfield said it's going to be our year, 101 points. Every time I say the phrase, it's going to be our year, I get a shiver down my spine because it's the one thing we're not allowed to say, or we're not supposed to say. Trent for the armband for sure, said Warren Devos. Who do I think will be their next captain? Van Dijk. If Jordan Henderson was to move on, because he won't have the captaincy stripped off him, if he was to move on, I think it would be given to Van Dijk. Dave Sweeney, hello from Galway. Hello to my little Galway girl. How are you, Dave? I'm only joking with you. I don't know where that accent came from either, Dave. And say hello to Sinead as well. I don't know why I waved. Like, you don't understand what hello is. Any news on Kent? Yes, Rangers, 7 million, Luca. I'm just waiting to find absolute confirmation on that one. But it looks like he's joining Rangers. All indications point to the fact he's going to sign for Rangers for 7 million. Just waiting on confirmation of that. Duncan. Yeah, no absolute confirmation yet, but he will sign for Rangers for what I believe will be 7 million. Hello from Devon. I bet you're blown away by that, mate. I'm blown away that anybody tunes in to watch what we talk about. So no matter if you're from next door to me or if you're from, I don't know, Australia like Rod there is, I'm appreciative of your time and your love and your support. And on that, we're 17 subscribers away from 22,300. So if there's 17 people watching that haven't subscribed, please do take a little second and hit that button. And for all you superstars that have subscribed and continue to show us love, just hit the thumbs up if you get a chance. Does anybody know where the World Club Cup is? Qatar. Thomas is in Qatar. Next Manchester City captain. I haven't got a clue, mate. I haven't got a clue. I don't really care either. It's Manchester City. I don't mean that to sound rude towards you. I don't mean it in that way. Premier League talk said VVD will probably win the Ballon d'Or because he won the UEFA's best player. Look what happened to Modric. Yep, and as I said earlier on, he's been nominated for the FIFA Best Male Player of the Season award as well. And Jurgen Klopp's been nominated for the FIFA Manager of the Season award, or of the year. I'm not sure if we call it year or season. Hey, what else have we got? Hello from my living room, said Stephen Booker. All the way from your living room, mate. Wow. Massive love from my bedroom over to your living room. Again, waving like people don't understand what the fuck a hello is. I want Pookie because his name is Pookie, said Rod. It is fun to say. And you can throw in Timo as well, Rod, because it doesn't get any less fun saying Timo Pookie. Right, ladies and gents, we have 20 minutes left on tonight's stream, so I'm going to pass it over to you and let you guys say what you want to talk about. Before I forget, there are two things I kept meaning to say and I keep forgetting about. Firstly, we're running our Fantasy Premier League, as you know, in association with our friend at Blood Husky. And every month, whoever's top of the league at the end of that month, at the end of the month, start of the next month, will receive a t-shirt from the Blood Husky range. This month, John Coyne is leading our Blood Husky Fantasy Premier League, and he's the winner of the first monthly prize. So, John, if you are watching, my friend, just email us at AnfieldAgenda@outlook.com. and we will sort you out your prize, mate. Go on to bloodhusky.com, pick out whatever t-shirt you like from their selection, and we'll get Joe and the guys will send that over to you. But just email me so I can get your address, your size, the t-shirt that you want and all that stuff. So just to reiterate, John Coyne is leading after month number 1 of Fantasy Premier League. Congratulations to John. And you've won this month's t-shirt, mate. But for those of you guys, don't forget there's a prize every single month and big prizes at the end for the winners. If you win the overall Fantasy Premier League, then we're going to give you, what was it we said we were going to do? £100 Liverpool voucher for the winner, £50 for second place, £25 for third place. If you win the head-to-head league, we're going to give you £75 voucher, and if you win both of them, we'll give you a bonus £50 voucher. So loads of Liverpool vouchers up for grabs for people who are in the Fantasy Premier League, and the monthly prize, of course, of any t-shirt you like from the Blood Husky range. And as well, I should point out, if you want to buy anything on Blood Husky, you can get a 10% discount by using the code AnfieldAgenda10. I think that's the code. That's the code AnfieldAgenda10. Use that, and if you're buying 2 or more products, you get 10% off. Again, we don't make any money from that whatsoever. That's just a deal that we do with the guys at Blood Husky to get you lads a discount. Do I play FIFA? No, I don't. Don't play computer games, mate. I wish I had the time. How many points was this month's winner on? I'll tell you now. Give me 2 seconds. I'll open up the league here. A lot more than me. That's what I will say. Right, fantasy. Where's the league? John Coyne had 236 points to be leading after month number 1. Now, bear in mind, there was a problem with our league that week number 1 got fucked up, and the FPL just screwed everybody out of the week number 1 points. So that was after not having week number 1 included. Did I see Harry Wilson win goal of the month? I don't know. Happily eggs. I don't know. I haven't had a chance to check. Craig Adams said, dropped about 300 places in the Fantasy Premier League and I had my best score. Ooh, that's not great, is it? Somehow in the head-to-head leagues I've played for, won for, and I beat Liam Granby this week, so Limo. I don't know how though. I'm shit at Fantasy Premier League. So how I've won 4 out of 4 in the head-to-head, I don't know. The head-to-head league's closed. For those of you asking, all our leagues are closed. We closed them after game week 1 because we wanted to make it fair. Because we had like over 700 entries in the regular league and I think it was a couple of hundred in the head-to-head league. Don't laugh at me, but what's a fantasy league? Can you explain? Oh, I'm not laughing at you, mate. It's a fair question. Right, so basically, Fantasy Premier League is you're the manager of your own squad. You get given 100 million and you go onto the Fantasy Premier League app and you have to buy players. You have to buy 15 players as a whole. You have to buy 11 starters, obviously, a sub-goalkeeper and 3 other subs as well. You can only buy 3 players from one club and there's loads of other bits and pieces as well. But it's basically just like Fantasy Manager, mate. And your players get points depending on goals, clean sheets and lots of other stuff. If you want to have a look in more detail, just check out the Premier League website and go into the fantasy section on there. What's the league called? The Blood Husky Premier League. Blood Husky. And yeah, I don't know where I am in the league at the minute. I think I'm probably doing quite fucking shy. Where am I? 133 in the Blood Husky League, which isn't bad considering, as I said, we've 700 and something in it. So yeah, I'll take that. That's not too bad. When are Liverpool debuting the white kit? I don't know. I've no idea. When they'll wear it? Have we not wore it? We wore it in the summer, in the pre-season games. Fantasy Premier League's when Everton win the league, says Rod. Since you bought shares in Kai Havertz, his shares have plummeted, said Craig Adams. It's alright, mate. I'll sit on them. Now, that is in relation to Fantasy Premier League. That's in relation to, obviously, Football Index. But yeah, I'll sit on those shares, mate. I'm not going to rush and sell them. Kai Havertz will get better as the season goes on. And if anybody wants to sign up to Football Index, there is a link in the description below, which will help the channel if you sign up. And if you use the code AA as well, you'll get 10% bonus on player purchases in your first month. It is a gambling product, 18 plus UK and Irish residents only. And begambleaware.org is there if you have any issues with gambling. When's the chair coming? It's here. It's in Ireland, Kyle. It's in Waterford as we speak. We're going down next Monday to do the photo shoot, and then we've got to see about transporting the chair back to my house. If it doesn't go in my car, then I'll get a bigger car to go down and collect it. But yeah, we're doing the photo shoot next Monday. Fabinho's an absolute monster, and he's only going to get better. So Brian Morrissey, yes, and yes again, my friend. I couldn't agree with you anymore. I'm just checking that I haven't missed any of these because I always miss out on super chats. No, I think I've got Doug's ones there. Grand. Matip's the most underrated player that we have. Somebody actually posted up, and it was a Manchester City fan account, I think, to say that he's the most overrated player in the Premier League. Imagine calling Joel Matip the most overrated player in the Premier League. If anything, he's one of the most fucking underrated players in the Premier League. Again, just more bitterness and more fear. Has there been any news on Laporte? Yes, it looks like he's out for 4 to 6 months. No confirmed news that I've seen, but everything I'm reading suggests it's 4 to 6 months, mate. It's a serious knee injury. And as I said at the start of the stream, we wish him a speedy recovery. I never like to hear of a player getting injured. Do you think we're like 18-19 this season or 17-18? I think you mean with regards to our style of play. I think it's too early to say. We're only 4 games in. I'd say we're more likely to be like we were last season in that we'll try and be solid defensively and use that as a base and just back that our front 3 will get the goals. Joel Matip is better than Laporte, up the Reds, said X-Spectre HD. Thank you for your comment, mate. You're forgetting Alisson Becker nominated for the FIFA Goalkeeper of the Year. Was he? I missed that, yeah. Sorry, when I was reading earlier on, I just seen Klopp and Van Dijk, sorry. So Alisson Becker as well, which is no surprise, to be fair. He should be nominated for it. So yes, Alisson Becker nominated for the FIFA Best Goalkeeper of the Year. So thank you for reminding me of that, mate. Mr. A said, Company and now Laporte out will hurt City. Company was immense for them in the latter part of last season. 100% was. 100%. Should change the background, mate. Why? Why should I change the background? No skill. Give me your opinion, mate. Why should I change it? I fucking love my background. Plus, they're a pain in the arse to get made up. They're not easy to do. Warren Devil said we're playing much higher up the pitch this season, but we are definitely holding a higher line. I think that's because Klopp not only backs his centre backs and his defenders, he backs VAR to get the decisions right. Matt has been unbelievable for us, and why he's still in the team ahead of Gomez, need we say more? Exactly, he's been awesome. We never celebrated a home draw home to West Brom, mate. Never celebrated a home draw home to West Brom. That, if you're talking about the situation where the players went over, linked arms in front of the KOPP, it was in relation to respect to the crowd. It was nothing to do with celebrating the result. Dog Zombies said Van Dijk makes him have wet dreams. There you go. Well, I'm presuming it's a he, could be a she. I could be completely wrong, but either way, there's wet dreams involved. I swapped Laporte for Digne in FPL. Is that good? I don't know. I'm shit at FPL, mate. Asking me is completely the wrong thing to do. Craig Adams said, I'll hang on to the Kai Havertz shares. I got £40 invested in him. Just mad how fast the market changes. Yeah, it does. But you got to sit tight, as you said, mate. No point in selling when they go down a little bit. You got to back them. And Kai Havertz is only going to get better and better. So I'd hang on to those shares if I were you. Hello from Egypt. You're my favourite YouTuber. Thank you, Morad. I actually had a friend called Morad, actually, many years back. So it's a name that whenever I hear, it always makes me think of that person. But welcome, mate, and lots of love from Ireland. Do you remember Stoke City style of football? Oh, still gives me... I know, fucking Tony... They still have a bang of Tony Pulis off them, even though he's not there. To be fair, City probably won't need Laporte and company. They'll easily outscore teams. Yeah, but when it comes to the big games, mate, when it comes to the games against us, when it comes to the games against Spurs, when it comes to the games against Chelsea, Manchester United, whoever it might be, then it might come back to haunt them a little bit. And especially in Europe. In Europe, it'll be a big loss for them. Is Matip getting a new deal? I heard it was in the pipeline. I would imagine so, Curtis. I mean, he's earned one. So I would imagine there'd have to be an offer on the table for him. The club wouldn't be that silly not to at least enter into those conversations. Yusuf's also from Egypt. How are you, mate? Welcome. City fans are spending the season trying to distract from what's coming. Fuck them, said Farrell. Yeah, I mean, we're all kind of waiting to see what goes on around the FFP situation there. Yeah, I don't want to precurse what's going to happen, but it seems like there's a ban incoming, and they will appeal it, of course. Happily Egg said, put your money on Martin Odegaard in Football Index. Actually, somebody I don't have any shares in, mate, so I will take that on board. I'll have a look at him and see if he's worth sticking a few quid on. Friends come and go, others don't care. Some do, said Dog Zombies. Yeah, they do, mate, but it's important to keep those that are dear to you close and treat them properly and show them respect, and you'll get that back from them in spades. There's going to be dickheads in life, and we're all going to be used by people at times, mate. We're going to have hangers-on who are only there for the good times, but when the shit hits the fan, you'll know who your real friends are. Mr. A said, I hope Milner gets a new deal. I don't think he will, you know. Just a gut reaction. I don't think he will. But I wouldn't begrudge him a new deal. I wouldn't begrudge James Milner playing till he was 40, because he's, as I said at the start, a model professional. Great to be back. I've missed the channel. Thank you, mate. Great to have you back. You're great, said Yusuf. Thank you, mate, but I'm just the same as everyone else, mate. I'm just a fan that comes on and talks about the club. I've no special skills or special knowledge that anybody else doesn't have. I'm just very lucky to be here chatting with you wonderful people night in, night after night. As I said before, I cannot say how much you guys have improved my life, and being on here talking to you guys have improved my life, my personality, my confidence, everything. And I can't say thank you for that enough. Do you remember the rainy nights at Stoke? I don't even want to think about Stoke, mate. What's with the Stoke love all of a sudden? I was actually fucking happy when they were relegated, if I'm being honest. Can't believe it's Champions League in a couple of weeks. That's come around quick, said Kev. Yeah, it has. Really quick. And I hate the period where it ends in, what is it, the start of December, end of November? And then we have that big gap till February till it comes back. Because you're only getting to the good point. You know you've qualified for the knockout stages. and you're raring to go, and then you have that big wait until February. Embro said, wrote earlier, Craig, I'd give James Milner a coaching role, great role model and great player for others to learn from. Yes, I couldn't agree anymore there, mate. I mean, James Milner has coach written all over him, doesn't he? I mean, he's a great temperament, he's got a great personality, his knowledge of the game is second to none, and he seems like a very studious type of gent as well. Official.bxlxl said, honestly love watching you every night, you're so positive, rate your work rate. Thank you. If there's one thing I will say, I don't give myself any credit for a lot of shit, but work rate, yeah. I mean, I do work quite a bit when it comes to this stuff, and I do like to come on as often as possible, and I do stream for quite long amounts of time, which actually, funnily enough, probably loses us a lot of subscribers, because people look at a video and go, hour 45, not watching that, that's too long. And I get that, I honestly do get that, but it's how the channel's naturally gone, and it's what works for us, and I wouldn't change it. I mean, an hour and 45 minutes flies along when we're on here chatting. Sometimes I feel bad even going after an hour and 45. On that, tomorrow, as you guys know, it's Tuesday, and on Tuesday, as you know, I go and see my psychologist, so I don't stream on Tuesday, so there won't be any stream tomorrow, but I will be back on Wednesday, so it's only one day, and I'll see you guys on Wednesday. Couple of minutes left though, so still time to read through a few more comments. Let's see if there's anybody I've been missing out on their comments, or anyone I haven't really read much out on. Love you too, XXMMGXX. Thank you very much. Do I think Salah will leave Liverpool? Yes, at some point, of course. Will it be next season or the end of this season? I don't know. I guess time will tell. I know that's a cop-out answer, but I genuinely don't know. But you said, do I think he'll leave? I think he's the most likely of the front three to leave, if one of them was to leave. That's my guess. And I can see Cavalier reckons Mane, and I get that as well. Some other people have similar mindsets. I don't know, maybe it's more wishful thinking. I think Mane is more... I think Mane would be harder to replace than Mo Salah in a weird way, because he's a little bit unpredictable, and he does things often that are completely out of nowhere, whereas Salah does what he does very effectively, but you know what you get from Mo Salah. But you're talking again, I mean, we're picking holes here in the very top level footballers in the world, and it sounds wrong to do so. Matip's out of contract at the end of the season, that's why I asked. Yep, I know, and I'm like you, mate, I'm just waiting for the club to put that offer on the table, and I'm sure there will be talks ongoing behind the scenes. You start secondary school tomorrow, do you have any tips? Enjoy it, honestly, mate, just enjoy it. Secondary school for me I loved compared to primary school, so when I made that leap up to secondary school, it was great. I mean, I got to play a lot more sport, I got to meet a lot of new friends. You got a lot more freedom as well when you go into secondary school, so just enjoy it. Don't let it overawe you, and have fun, mate. I keep saying school days are the best days of your life. You look back on them when you get to my age very fondly, so enjoy yourself, and I wish you very well in your new school. Any word on you doing a boxing channel, Craig? No, I'm never going to do a boxing channel, Dara. I said I'd love to be part of a boxing podcast, or I'd go on a boxing channel from time to time as a guest, but I don't have the time to run a boxing channel. And quite frankly, I don't have the level of knowledge I'd need to feel comfortable to run a boxing channel. But yeah, maybe someday I'll pop up on IFL TV, you never know. Mbappe replacing Salah, wouldn't mind that if he was to leave, said Ben. I wouldn't say no, mate. I wouldn't say no. I don't want Salah to leave, but I wouldn't say no to Mbappe. Yusuf, goodbye, mate. I'll talk to you soon. Mane has more to his game than Salah, said Stephen Booker. I would agree with that. You know, I would. I think it's harder to replicate what Mane gives a team than what Mo Salah would. But again, it's like picking one of your kids. I love the three of our forwards dearly. Firmino is my favourite, I'm not going to lie. Danny said, I'm doing level 3 sport in college. Nice one, mate. That's class. Yeah, if you're going to college, mate, it's sport. Love it. And who was it earlier on? Declan said as well that he's doing sports management or sports business in college, which is class. Hopefully in the same class as my friend, so big man Steve. Yeah, hopefully. But if you're not, mate, you'll make new friends, and it'll be all good. Um, I'm doing level 3 mechanical engineering at college. Wow, I didn't have the maths for that, mate. I wouldn't. Mechanical engineering. Congratulations, that's class. That's really, really good. I'm so happy as so many of you guys are going on to college and doing really well, and I'm sure your parents are all immensely proud of you, and rightly so. Yeah, I'm fucking proud of you, and I barely know you guys, so well done to all of you that are heading off to college. Jack, mate, thank you for the super chat. Really appreciate that. Who would you say is the hardest to replace in the squad? Bobby, without even blinking. Bobby Firmino is the hardest player. If we lost Bobby Firmino, or if he got injured, we'd be in fucking trouble, because he brings a lot to our team, and what he brings is it's almost impossible to replicate. Van Dijk, yeah, I get where you're coming from, but Firmino is so important. Who's your second favourite player after Fowler? Gerrard, Dara. Doug said, I'm doing an interview with a Scottish Sky Sports presenter on Wednesday for my radio show. Craig, so excited and nervous. Don't be nervous, Doug. You're dealing with a pro there, so they'll help you through it. Have fun and just back yourself. Be comfortable, be confident. I know from chatting to you, you'll have done all your research, you'll have your notes ready, and just go into it, mate, and enjoy it, because that's what you started all this for, to get into these positions, to talk to people like that. And everybody needs to start and cut their teeth somewhere, buddy. So I believe in you. I know that you'll knock it out of the park. You're a good lad, so let me know how you get on. Right, ladies and gents, I'm going to call that a night, because I'm really tired. And I will chat to you wonderful people on Wednesday. If you haven't subscribed, please do hit that button before you head off, and give us a thumbs up as well. Thank you so much, everybody, for your time, your love, your comments, your support. Don't know what else to say. You're a great bunch, and I appreciate the shit out of you. I'll talk to you all on Wednesday. Take care of your families. Tell your loved ones that you love them. And up the motherfucking Reds. Take care.